Hi there, Tech717 here, doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to talk to you about drink pairings with cigars. Drink pairings are one of those things that I feel are important because when you pair something with something like a cigar, it turns it into something beyond what it is by itself. So you can take something that you enjoy and turn it into something entirely different very easily. I'm going to bring you 10 of what I would consider to probably be the most popular pairings, ones that I enjoy the most, and talk to you a little bit about them and how to pair them. And I labeled this Cigar 101 pairing because it's a 101 level class, maybe even lower, because each one of these categories that I'm going to go into, you could probably delve much deeper into it than I'm going to. This is just a basic, here you go, here's a good starting point, go have fun type of a scenario. 1. Water. You might think that that's a little silly, but water is great because it's entirely neutral. A lot of times you want to have something to drink while you're smoking a cigar, cleanse the palate, keep your mouth from getting too dry so that you're actually getting all the flavors of the cigar. Kind of difficult to do if all you're doing is smoking a cigar. Water wets the palate. It also acts as kind of a cleanser. So if you've got a cigar that has different transitions, it's going to help you notice those better because you're constantly cleansing your palate without water to help you better enjoy the cigar. That's why water is the number one choice. I almost always am drinking water when I do my cigar reviews, so that way I can give the best, most accurate representation of what I'm tasting. Number 2, tea. Tea is great because it's extremely mild, for the most part. You can get some different teas, chai teas that are real spicy, or mild teas like a green tea that have more of a mint flavor. And even in cigars, there is some blends that have more of a menthol type flavor, which is the natural flavor from tobacco leaves, depending on how the tobacco is aged and fermented. Teas are great with a lot of different mild to medium cigars. They blend really well with those, and they can bring out some characteristics in those mild to medium cigars that maybe weren't there in the first place because they're pretty mild flavored. Pair them with a good glass of tea, particularly iced tea. I love. Today we're drinking hot tea because it's winter time and it's snowing outside. Hot tea is the way to go today. Anyways, tea is great for those mild to medium cigars. Black tea, whatever kind of tea you like, try it out. See what you want to pair with it. See what works well for you. Again, infinite number of ways you can go with this. Just a basic here. Try some tea with a cigar. Number 3, this is probably the most paired drink with cigars ever. Coffee. Coffee, for whatever reason, is just beautiful with cigars. It has a lot of the same characteristics. It's a crop, so it's grown. It has a lot of the same bold flavors. It has a lot of the same rich flavors. Earthiness, spiciness, all those great flavors that come from tobacco are also present in coffee. I like, particularly if you've seen some of my videos, Black Rifle Coffee Company. This is the Freedom Fuel blend. Now, I'm not endorsed by Black Rifle Coffee Company. I just named them in my videos because I want to, because not only do I like their coffee, but they are a completely veteran-owned and operated business. And I love supporting veterans in any way possible whenever I can. I already buy coffee. Why would I not support a veteran-owned and operated business when I'm already buying coffee, especially since they produce a great product? That being said, check out the Freedom Fuel blend. A couple of my other videos, I did the Freedom blend, which is a little different. And then they have all different kinds of great blends. I'll put a link in the description. Please support veterans. It's a great endeavor. Coffee with cigars is just a staple. It can go anywhere from a mild to a medium, even a medium full. There are some cigars that'll pair well with coffee. Some of the cigars that I like to pair with coffee would be like, say, that Brick House, Connecticut that I just reviewed. Fantastic cigar with coffee. Number 4, cola. You've probably heard me say this before. Coke is a great thing to drink while smoking a cigar. Soda in general can be a great pairing. I've heard a lot of people talk about root beer, Dr. Pepper, on and on. If you like Pepsi or Coke, I don't care. Whichever. It goes great with cigars because it's got a lot of sweetness. Sweetness, the carbonation, fantastic with a lot of different cigars. particularly ones that have a little bit of sweetness in them themselves. Pairs well with that. Does a pretty good job of cleansing the palate. Doesn't overpower any cigar really that I've smoked while drinking Coke or some other type of soda. If you want to go with something even more mild, you could probably go with a Sprite lemon lime soda, something like that. I've never tried that though. Go ahead, explore. Tell me how it is. This finishes the non-alcoholic portion of this video. Number 5, wine. You might be thinking that's kind of a girly thing to drink, but it's really not. Because red wine is robust, is rich, is extremely flavorful, and highly alcoholic. Red wine pairs well with a variety of cigars. I'd say probably more in the medium range would probably be the appropriate place for red wine. This is a red blend that I've been drinking recently. Had it with a few different cigars. The Sosa that I reviewed recently, that thing pairs so well with a red blend. It brings out more of the spice and a little bit of a fruit note that you wouldn't notice was even there in the cigar at all. So those two flavor combinations just brings out something that you wouldn't have noticed before. So wine, especially red wine, red blends, you know, something like a Cabernet Sauvignon, that is a great thing to drink while smoking a cigar. It brings out a lot of different flavors that you wouldn't know were there. And red wine really is a decently manly drink. You can drink it around your guy friends, and if they pick on you, they're missing out because it does pair really well with cigars. And steak. 6, beer. This is a Belgian white. I would pair this with a mild to medium cigar. Beer is one of those things that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. You could delve infinitely into this category because there's so many different types of beer, so many different types of cigar. You could just spend days and days and years researching beer pairings alone. Stick to the basics. Light cigar, light beer. Dark cigar, dark beer. If you're going to be smoking a Gurkha Black Dragon, get yourself a stout. If you're going to be smoking a white label, light beer. Keep it simple. Number 7, brandy. No, I don't have the appropriate glass, but that's okay. Couldn't find it, I'm sorry. Brandy is extremely versatile. It's strong, like a whiskey, but at the same time, the flavors are fairly mild. So it can be paired with anything from probably a heavier, mild medium, all the way up into a full-bodied cigar because of the way it is. Because it's such a medium, or actually it's probably more of a mild hard alcohol if you're really going to say it in those terms. Brandy is great. Honestly, I haven't been drinking brandy that long. I just started drinking brandy in order to pair it with cigars, just to see how I liked it. I do like it. I like the cheap stuff. I have tried more expensive brandies, and honestly, I don't like them very much. Cheap brandy works well. It pairs good with lots of different cigars. Figure out what you like. In that same category, of course, is cognac, a little bit higher priced. If you are into cognac, it's gonna pair well with cigars. You're gonna play around with it, find what cigars work for you. Have fun. Again, tons of different variations where you can go in there and say, hey, this cigar pairs well with this type of brandy, this cigar pairs well with this type of cognac, on and on and on. Basically, it works. Number 7, rum. Rum is fantastic because it's very sweet. Obviously, it's made with sugar. So you pair that with any kind of cigar that has sweetness in it, it's gonna go good. It's got the vanilla flavor, especially if you're doing like a spiced rum, you've got vanilla flavor, spice. Sounds like a lot of cigars. It's gonna go really great with the mild to medium cigar, and it might even hold up to something more in the full range, depending on what kind of rum you're drinking, because again, there's all different types of rum. You can keep going and keep going and keep going, and you can just figure out what works for you. Rum pairs really well with cigars. Number 9, and the one you've all been waiting for, whiskey. This is Redbreast. It is a 12-year Irish whiskey. It is also one of my personal favorites. Because it's been aged for so long, it's started to mellow out. That means that it can be paired with anything from a mild to a full cigar, because It has the potency to stand up to a full-bodied cigar, but at the same time, it's been mellowed, so it's not going to overpower something that's more in the medium range. It's very smooth, it's very flavorful, it's an excellent whiskey. And when I say whiskey in this case, I am of course spelling it without an E, because I'm referring to any whiskeys that might be referred to as Scotch or Irish whiskey. Just kind of throwing them all in there together. I know a lot of single malt guys out there, again, they got encyclopedias of what single malt pairs well with what cigar and so forth. I'm just telling you, whiskey pairs well with it, and kind of the cigar range that you want to go for. You know, the medium to full is what you're going to have to be smoking in order for the whiskey to not overpower the cigar and them to actually blend well together. 10. Number 10. Bourbon. Bourbon is a special case because it is extremely potent and extremely strong. This is one of my prized possessions, a bottle of Duke Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It is modeled after the bourbon that the man himself used to distill back in the day, taken over by his son, Ethan Wayne. It is smooth, but still extremely strong, as bourbon should be. So, what does that mean? It can really only be paired with a full-bodied cigar, because anything else, you're just going to completely overpower it. You're not going to be able to enjoy the cigar. You're just going to be drinking whiskey. So, a full-bodied cigar, you know, basically anything that AJ Fernandez has, or a Gurkha Extreme, a CAO MX2, one of the darker Cohibas, something like that, you're going to want a full-bodied cigar to be able to hold up to a glass of bourbon. That being said, when you do, the combination is fantastic. A lot of darker cigars, more Ligero leaves, you get a lot of those rich, full flavors, wood, earth, spice. Those are the kinds of things that go really well with bourbon because they have oakiness, spiciness, strength. There's a lot of that in a lot of those darker cigars. They go hand in hand. All right, guys, there you go. That should give you at least a little bit of insight on where to start with your cigar pairings. Whether you're in mild to medium cigars, or medium to full cigars, hopefully I gave you something to work with. A good starting point, something that you want to try, something you want to put together with something that you already know and think, hey, that might be good together. Go for it, try it, get down in the comments, tell me how you liked it, tell me how you liked the video. I would be honored if you would give me a thumbs up, maybe even hit the subscribe button, and if you really liked it, go ahead and share it with your friends. Hopefully, this has been edifying for you. Happy smoking, guys.